Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the Spartan Toy Hunter, and this is my kit bashing of the Baroness and Nokia. And we're going to be swapping some parts, improving one and having to leave the other one behind. So this right here is my Baroness that I got from Walmart. It is the retro carded one. And over here we have the Nokia figure. This one didn't. This one came as it was. I was able to get it very cheap, single-digit numbers when it came to how much it was. So there are parts here, and it's basically going to be double jointed elbows that I was looking for. And this character definitely had what I was looking for. Let's take a close look at. So it definitely had the double jointed elbows. And let's face it, Baroness is definitely lacking in that department there. So let's see how far can she actually bend her elbows. And that is it right there. So carrying a gun, holding a gun, rifle, pistols, extremely limited. So we're going to go ahead and do some swapping. And if we find anything along the way, we'll talk about it. And yeah, I'm curious to see what this looks like without the arms. So let's boil some water and let's pop the arms off. All right, now that we got the arms off, I wanted to show you guys something real quick. This shoulder pad is not attached to the vest up here. It attaches to the peg. So this is what it looks like detached. This is what it looks like attached. Right there. So maybe you might be able to, let me just get a closer. Yeah, that's it. So now it's attached to the peg. It has a little hole right there, slips right over it, and it stays on the shoulder. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this, place it onto the new shoulders, and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I put the shoulder pads back in, plugged them. I actually put the Baroness arms back onto the Nokia body mold right here, and just now noticing that there's so much limitation. She can't hardly put her arms down by her side. So what I also did was I switched the hands, but I did come across a problem here. So I do have the original hand of the other Baroness that I have, and I'm going to show you. So if you take a look at them side by side, this G.I. Joe hand is much larger than the Marvel Legends hand. So what I ended up doing was I simply cut a piece off to make it shorter. Let me get you a little bit closer here. So there's a closer look right there of the difference. So what I ended up doing was I cut off a tip so it would match up the same size as the Marvel Legend hand plug-in. And once I did that, I was actually able to fit it in. So this is the before, that's the after. It'll still have enough width to actually plug in and hold snugly inside of its peg. So, all right. So let's get to the gun holding time. So here's a side-by-side comparison of both of them holding the gun. So you can see that she's holding this gun more securely and has more flexibility of positioning and posing. Hand under, and then this is what it looks like from the side. She can easily position herself any way she wants. Unfortunately for the original side, I am struggling just to get this hand under the gun every time I get this side on, the other one pops off. No flexibility. Horrible first try, first design of the female G.I. Joe. So that is the benefits of switching out the arms. So I'm going to be doing some paint work here, but another thing that I wanted to do was see if with these extra arms that I have, they may not work well for this figure. So I may try to find a way to get this forearm shield and be able to place it onto the double jointed one. So I'm going to work on that and see if I can find a way. Alright, here it is, the end result of placing the arm guards, the forearm guards, onto the Nokia forearms. So this is what it looks like. They work very well and great addition to this figure. So let me show you how I got that. So I'm going to pop this open. So first thing I did was I cut out all the extra pieces that that peg that connected here to the bicep and the upper arm. Didn't have to do anything to the end of this. Let me just show you. And that's what I did. I hollowed it out, completely hollow. And the way that I did that was I started really small. So I used a drill that would fit into the peg area where the hand plugs in, and I shot it all the way through. And then once I was able to get all the way over to the other side, I went a little bit bigger, and what I did, and I have one here that's the largest one, and I didn't end up using that one. What I did was I stayed with the next level one, and I just kept going seesawing back and forth, circular motions, kind of scooping in and out, and that's how I was able to get this. That's how I was able to get this part done so well. Another part that I did was I actually shaved and I sanded the forearm down. So with a combination of the hollow point of this guard and the shaving of the forearm, this can pop in and out, and I can place it in any position I want. And there it is right there. So give it a little push, and there it is. Goes all the way through and allows me to plug the hand right into it, and I can take them off and on. So another thing that I did for the arm guards was I would put something like the end of a brush. I would put it backwards and then heat the pad itself in boiling water, take it out, and put the brush end into it and push it to the end, almost like you were fitting for a ring. And every time I heat it, I kept pushing, trying to expand it very gently so that it wasn't too rough and split the end. So you got to be very careful. But I think the shaving of the forearm, sanding it down to a very smooth edge, I think was the one that helped it out the most. So let's see here. So this is the part that came onto the elbow part. This is basically the elbow part of the Baroness right there. And so I was actually able to cut it, and I used the strap line right here to guide me to this point. And I just ever so gently started cutting in certain spots right here between the forearm and the guard, the armor guard right there. So be very careful, be cut small and cut very accurately. So now let's go ahead and let's get to some poses with the gun so I can show you what it looks like. Alright, so this is her holding the rifle. You can already see that she's holding it very securely with the Baroness on the left, and the original arms. Looks like it's just, there's no flexibility. Let's turn to the side. Look at how fluent that arm is on the left with the Nokia arms, the double jointed elbows. And of course, you can see the limitation on the original. Turning over to the other side, full extension, feels like you can reach under the gun much better. All right, let's see what the handguns look like. And here we go with the double pistols, and this is already looking, yeah, you're able to bend a lot more, and you can actually, if you wanted to, you can do a little cross action there like that. Any type of cross action here, and you're only able to go to the tip of the gun right there, so it doesn't work out. So I think these two, yep, the winner is, we got the updated Baroness. So hopefully Hasbro's watching, and hopefully they can get share the same sculpt of the Nokia and put it onto the Baroness. You know, even the sculpting on this works really well. Oh, don't mind the tapping, that's just my dog. Alright, so we've reached the end. This is the kit bashing of Marvel Legends and the Gijoe Classified Baroness here, creating double elbows for a very, for the rest of the body part, an amazing figure. So we just took it up to that next level. So I hope you enjoyed and really liked what you saw here. So if you did like it, click that like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below for anything you'd like to ask me. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you all at the next project.